Broncos country. What's going on? Welcome into Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and we are live here on a Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Central. Welcome into the show today. We've got a lot of stuff on the docket, something that you need to know. It is the most important so far of the 2025 season game for the Denver Broncos. They take on the Super Bowl defending champion, Philadelphia Eagles, on their home turf this coming Sunday. It is going to be a massive game with huge, what's the word I'm looking for, Producer Alper? Implications. That's a great word. Huge implications. If the Broncos win, they are 3-2. And if the Philadelphia Eagles win, they are 5-0. As of right now, according to power rankings, the Philadelphia Eagles are at the very top of the NFL. Number one, them and the Buffalo Bills are the only undefeated teams left. The Denver Broncos can absolutely make a statement this coming Sunday. So before we get into everything that we've got planned on our show today, I have to start off by asking you a question. Predict the score for me. Broncos versus Eagles. I'm going to give some shout-outs in the live chat down below. We've got 40 people rocking with us right now. Excuse me. God, I cannot talk today. 40 people rocking in the building. All you got to do, get your score predictions down in the live chat. Let's go.
The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites.
They are 3.5-point favorites, but I suspect that will drop down to 3 by the time the game actually starts. Tyler says Broncos are getting the dub. I like the way you think, Tyler. Get those score predictions down in the comment section. Ingram and Jordan Squad saying Broncos 31, Eagles 21. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring, but I like the way you think. Dylan saying 28-25. Here, I'm going to check real quick for you.
Tyler Tillman says Broncos 100-0. Dylan, 28-25 Broncos. Craig, 31-24 Broncos.
Look underneath where it says Eagles, not in segment 3. Underneath Eagles. So it goes Vic Fangio, Eagles, and then those two PPs. Do you see?
That's old.
No, it isn't. No, that's this coming week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Danny coming in saying 30-17. Stepsister, I think is what it says, saying 30-14.
Don't get stuck.
Jody, Broncos 45, Eagles 38. That is way too high scoring. I'm going to say my prediction is that the Broncos win this football game 24-21. I think we forget that the Philadelphia Eagles try to play a different style of football than everybody else. They are going to wear you down with the running game, meaning they're going to take large amounts of time off the clock. The Broncos have to be quick, they have to be precise, and they've got to be effective on offense if they want to score against the Philadelphia Eagles. You also need to shape up every bit of run defense that you possibly can, because I promise you, they are going to run the football down your throat. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley are a dynamic rushing machine. Ball out, saying 31-28. Give me the Broncos. Give me the Broncos. Stepster, not stepsister. Well, stepster.
As the biggest Eagles hater here at Chat
Yes,
Sports.
you are. Producer Alper on the ones and twos, by the way.
As always.
As always.
I hate the Eagles,
Yep.
and I will be rooting
100%.
for a Broncos dub more than anything in the world.
I love the way you think. I love the way you think. I also will be rooting for the Denver Broncos, but not because I'm a Philadelphia Eagles hater. I actually don't have that many bad feelings about the Philadelphia Eagles. I know you don't, but I don't have any bad feelings. I just want the Broncos to win because I love the Denver Broncos.
Should on Sunday we go, die, Eagles, die.
Cry, Eagles, cry, on the road to losing games. Cry, Eagles, cry.
There we go.
That is the the song. Hey, by the way, we got 60 people in the building right now. Producer Alper knows this better than anybody in the building. We have to get to at least half of our like-to-view ratio. So, if you want the Broncos to win, don't be the guy that jinxes it. Take your shoes off at the door and hit that thumbs up icon. We will start our segment when we get to 30 likes. That is the goal. 30 likes, and that's when we'll start today's live show. Speaking of today's live show, I have our beautiful Broncos snow cap throwback helmet with the nice decal on it. Nice, look at that. All these names, one sent in their money against the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's the deal. If you want to get your name on the helmet, if you want a chance to win the helmet, to sport it in your house, wherever that may be, all you got to do is send in a $20 super chat to enter, and I will put your name on the helmet right here on the show. All the decal just for you. $20 to get your name on the helmet. That is our deal for today. And you'll automatically be entered into winning that helmet. Producer Alper, let us show them what is on today's docket. We've got a lot of stuff to cover today. 4 segments today on our live show. We're going heavy live show because we've got a big game. Lots of stuff to talk about. Vic Fangio, you guys know him very well. He sounded off on Broncos QB1, Bo Nix. Is there a trade for a big-name tight end incoming for the Denver Broncos? Broncos Sports Illustrated seems to think so. Some injury news ahead of Week 5 for both the Denver Broncos and for the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll highlight what that is. And then, of course, we're going to get our mailbag in as well. Make sure you use hashtag Broncos or Super Chat when the time comes. Remember, $20 gets you on the helmets, but any Super Chat will have you skip the line so that you will be featured number 1 on our Broncos mailbag. Wow.
Fangio is an a-hole.
Listen, I have no harsh feelings about Vic Fangio. There was a reason he got let go in Denver when he was the head coach there.
Oh, it has nothing to do with football. He's just an a-hole.
Oh, you just think he's an asshole.
He
Got
is.
it. Okay, got it.
I've met him personally.
Oh, fair enough.
Yes,
fair enough.
He's an a-hole.
Oh, well, hey, the more you know, right?
I've known he's from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Scranton, just like our former president. Folks, I was a little boy growing up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. It was a great place to grow up. Lots of riding bikes and stuff.
Yeah, I remember. One of the former head coaches of the NFL, he held a golf fundraiser, and we went to go interview Fangio because he was there, and this is right when he became the defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right.
And he wanted nothing to do with us. He was like, I don't want to answer any questions. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that.
Oh, nice.
All right. Okay.
What an awesome dude.
I can't remember who the head coach was. Mike Munchak.
Mike Munchak.
He was a former head coach in the NFL.
I don't know. He
was also from
is.
Scranton.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have no idea who that is.
Mike.
Quentin says now he wants to watch The Office because of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Mike Munchak was the head coach of the Tennessee Titans from 2011 to 2013.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
And the Broncos offensive line coach from 2019 to 2021.
Oh, nice. Very nice. All right.
And he's in the Hall of Fame as a player.
We need to get to 30 likes. We're 5 likes away.
Smash that like button.
5 likes away.
You got 65 people in the
70
chat,
now. 70 now.
70?
Hit that thumbs up icon. We got to get to 30
Smash
likes.
it.
That's the goal. Solid shirt, Moose. I bought one as well, says Danny Caudle. Danny Caudle, super fan of the show.
Shout out to Danny.
Shout out to
I
Danny.
know he hit that thumbs up icon. Who else is going to?
We need 4 more. 4 more to get started.
Maybe if you guys hit the like button, something special will happen.
Like we'll start our show. There we go. We got up to 34. We're good to go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Way to go. 39 likes. It might be a little delayed. We found this out, by the way, and during our Monday night game, that the stream was a little bit delayed. So I would ask them to do something like, I'd be like, oh, all right, hit that thumbs up icon. I'd wait like 20 seconds, nothing would happen. I'm like, damn, they really don't want to hit it. And then all of a sudden, you just see this influx of likes coming in, and you're like, whoa. Yeah, see, exactly my point. All right, cool. Let's get started. We're going to talk about how I believe the Denver Broncos just got a gift, not only from Vic Fangio, not only from A.J. Brown and that whole drama saga, but also some injury news for the Philadelphia Eagles that we have to explore right now. Yes, I believe the Denver Broncos just got a gift from the Philadelphia Eagles in 3 separate categories that you need to know. Welcome in, Broncos country, to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and on today's episode, we're going to talk some injury news for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Denver Broncos. We're going to talk about what Vic Fangio had to say about Broncos QB1 Bo Nix, and then, of course, this whole A.J. Brown drama that might just work in the Denver Broncos' favor as a major distraction looms over the city of brotherly love. I truly believe this is the perfect time to beat the number 1 team in the NFL on their home turf. This is not the same Philadelphia Eagles team that we saw last year. This team is beatable. That doesn't mean that you can take them lightly or take them for granted. They are still the number 1 team in the NFL, but their dominance over the rest of the league is slowly starting to wane. And I truly believe that based off of what you're going to hear in this episode, the Broncos can absolutely win. Before I do that, my friends, we're this close. 62 subscribers away from hitting our goal of 42,000 subscribers. If you're a Broncos fan who loves free Broncos content and you want everything, news, rumors, you name it, we got it. Hit that subscribe button right now. Let's talk about the Eagles injury report. Who are the Eagles that did not practice? This was according to yesterday. I know that Dallas Goedert was not a participant in yesterday's practice. He did participate in practice today in a limited capacity, but Jalen Carter was limited, Nakobe Dean was limited, Adoree Jackson was limited, and same with Lane Johnson. All 5 of these players right here will be used as an impact player for the being one player that you cannot take lightly whatsoever. So now let's talk about what good old Vic Fangio. Everybody knows Vic Fangio. Broncos fans know him better than anybody. He sounded off on Bo Nix. He was asked specifically about his time in Denver. And he, of course, gave the stereotypical presidential answer, or in this case, because he's a defensive coordinator, vice presidential answer. And he had glowing things to say about the Broncos and Sean Payton. But then he talked about Bo Nix. And this is where he got a little more candid, where he actually seemed a little bit more genuine, in my opinion. He's a lot like Baker Mayfield, Vic Fangio said. I think he might be Baker's younger brother. Really good. Like really, really good. I mean, he's a scrambler. He's a competitor. He'll throw the ball in tight windows. He'll run their offense really well. I think Sean does a great job bringing him along, and they have their quarterback for the future. That's high praise coming from Vic, a defensive coordinator that just won the Super Bowl last season with the Philadelphia Eagles. However, I do believe that he brings this in specifically to talk about what's the word I'm looking for here? He brings this up, and it kind of feels like a stinger for him. It kind of hits him in the feels. Why? Because Vic Fangio had an absence of a franchise quarterback when he was in Denver. We're talking about an ultimately doomed tenure as the Broncos head coach because they failed to get the quarterback position correct. You guys remember what that quarterback situation looked like. It wasn't nearly good enough because if your number 1 quarterback at the time was old man Joe Flacco and then Drew Lock as his successor, things took a shitty turn. And then, of course, you had to bring in Teddy Bridgewater to clean up the Drew Lock mess. So clearly, his time in Denver was halted by a lack of talented quarterback play. Bo Nix, whether or not you agree that he is an MVP candidate or a top 10 quarterback, he is absolutely and undoubtedly the franchise future for the Denver Broncos. So make no mistake when I say this, this is a full revenge game for Vic Fangio. I truly mean that. This is a full revenge game for the former Broncos head coach. You can absolutely damn well guarantee that he's going to come out and try to make a statement in this football game. So that leads me to believe that it's going to be a great game. Maybe the best game so far for the Denver Broncos. They're going to have to be buttoned up on defense. They're going to have to be buttoned up on offense. If you agree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. If you are also watching during our live chat, get down in the live chat right now and answer this question directly. Yes or no? Will this be the best game for the Denver Broncos so far in 2025? Coming up next, the Eagles drama continues. And I'm talking about one player specifically. Someone that's going to be going up against Pat Surtain on a one-on-one matchup this coming Sunday. Before I do that, I have to tell you about our friends over at Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it is good to be right. It is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the exact same lineup. Do you want to pick more or less on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns? Now you can pick all of them in the exact same lineup only on Prize Picks. Follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in just one click. You want to see what mine looks like? Boom. I got you. Combo, pro baseball, pro football. Dansby Swanson, more than half a hit. I'm thinking he does it. Dak Prescott against the Jets, more on the passing yards. And you know I can't even begin to tell you how I can't wait to watch Jalen Hurts get stifled by the Denver Broncos secondary. Less on the passing yards. Yours can look like this, but it doesn't have to. All you got to do is download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Whoa, the vanishing A.J. Brown. He's no longer here. That's totally fine. A.J. Brown is one of those players, in my honest opinion, that is so much more talented than the current situation that he's already in. I'll bet you didn't know this. A.J. Brown has been nonstop vocal about his role on the Philadelphia Eagles in 2025. Stop me if you've heard this before. But after the last game that they played, where they beat the Los Angeles Rams, or was it the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He declined to comment to the media, and this is where the drama starts. Declines to talk to the media, and then hours later posts this on his X. If you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. And then, of course, he was asked about it, and he said, no, that wasn't about the Philadelphia Eagles whatsoever. I was just in a mood. Really? Just in a mood, huh? After you decline to talk to the media, after you have been vocal about not getting the targets and the share of the offense that you so rightly believe you deserve. And there is no secret, he's been pissed with his lack of targets. I don't want to call a spade, but this seems like the very definition of a diva wide receiver. The man won a Super Bowl last year. He is on a team that is unanimously voted as the number 1 team in the NFL, and yet he's crying wolf and being all upset and pissy because he's not getting his targets. And I get it. As a player, you want to be great at your position. I get it. As a player, you want to make sure that you make your money based off of your production. I am not saying that they shouldn't feed him the football, but you cannot be this vocal in the media about it. Period. Here's what he had to say about his Eagles situation. I don't think it's a bad thing for me wanting the football, he said. It's not just for targets or anything, to put numbers up. No, I see that we're struggling. And I'm a guy that wants the ball in those times when we can't find a way. Give it to me. When the game's on the line, give me the ball. I want that. I want that pressure. I put it on myself, and I work hard for it. All right, mister, you want the ball. Good luck. That's all I got to say. Sad but true. Good luck getting targets on PS2. Look what Pat Surtain did just last week on Monday Night Football. Shut down the number 1 wide receiver in the entire league. Okay, I get it. Jake Browning, he sucks. But this is what Jamar Chase's numbers looked like on Monday Night Football against Pat Surtain, who was on him like white on rice all game. 8 targets, 5 receptions, 23 yards, 4.6 yards per reception. If Pat Surtain can do that to the very best in the NFL, he can damn well do it to A.J. Brown. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. Jalen Hurts is not a great thrower of the football, especially from the pocket. He does a great job of throwing the ball downfield and up the sideline. That's about it. Everything else is dink and dunk. Over the middle of the field, he's not nearly elite enough. And this right now is a perfect testament to exactly what A.J. Brown is talking about. 14 receptions, 151 yards, averaging 10.8 yards per reception and only 1 touchdown. They won't feed him the football. So this, to me, is the perfect time to really put the pressure on this Philadelphia Eagles offense. I guarantee you the noise is loud in Philadelphia. I guarantee you the fans are going to be loud. I guarantee you that if A.J. Brown comes out in that first quarter and doesn't get his targets, he will absolutely pout. Use this distraction to your advantage. Keep Pat Surtain on him all game long. That means Riley Moss is going to have to go up against Devontae Smith. But I truly believe that what you're going to see is that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to try and run the football and make this as low scoring as possible. I don't think this game gets above 25 points for either team. I think 24-21 Denver Broncos. And if you believe that they're going to get a W, let's get those victory vibes going. Spam W in the comment section down below. I want to see as many W's as possible. All right, that is going to do it for us, though, on today's episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Broncos country, a mile high salute to you. Be cool. We got a D, B, 4, L, John, Emery, bang! Holy moly! $100. 3 points is home field advantage. 28-14 Broncos. Eagles only had less than 100 yards on the ground.
Let them know, John!
Let them know, John! Shout out John. Spam John in the comment section down below. Do you know how hard it was to continue with the straight face in the cut that we were doing?
Did you see my face?
And when we get that super chat in there?
Did you see my face?
That's crazy.
I was like, oh. Oh.
I saw it and I was like, I almost wanted to do a quick pause. But I was like, we're already a good chunk of the way into the video. Unbelievable. Shout out to John Emery. John, you're going to get 2 stickers on the helmet for that, my friend. I'm going to make sure I put that at the very top of our doc. 2 stickers coming in for my guy, John.
And we can't forget about Danny's super chat, too.
Of course
because
not.
every super chat
matters.
Gets on.
Every super chat matters.
Every single one. Danny coming in with a 5. He's flying to Philly for a guy's weekend.
Do I dare wear my Bo Nix jersey to this game? I think the better question is, when will you take it off? That's the better question.
Look, I've been to Philly 5,000 times. I lived really, really close to Philly my entire life.
Sure.
Last year, I wore a Mets shirt to the first game of the NLDS.
Did you really?
Yes.
How were you met with? What kind of slurs were thrown your way?
You suck, F you, this and that, bunch of middle fingers straight at my face.
Yep.
Where are you going, Danny? Because there's a lot of fun places in Philadelphia. I love going to Xfinity Live, but they don't call it Xfinity Live anymore because they changed the name.
Fun city for sure, but Mile High rolls in there. They take over, and they improve to 3-2. I'm calling it.
Cheers.
This is the first loss of the season for the Philadelphia Eagles. Book it right now. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. All right. Our next.
Oh, Boss Man Jay. Yeah, give me
Boss
the
Man Jay saying, boo, Alper. Boo, Alfer. Helper. Nah, get out of here. I don't even want to look up at it. Nope, I'm not going to do it.
Top 5 QB.
Hopefully there's a lot of orange in that sea of green.
I hope so. I've been to give me some fun places to hit up. Xfinity Live is, what do they call it now? It's like Landmark Live or something.
Landmark.
It is a gigantic bar restaurant, multiple bars. It's like live. If you've been to Texas Live in Texas, I think Denver has a live. There's a Nashville Live. There's Baltimore Live. And it's right smack dab in the middle of the whole entire sports complex.
Yeah.
And I'm 90% sure that during the Eagles game on Sunday, the Phillies are also going to be playing.
Don't forget Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, too. You got to get a Philly cheese, though, Danny. We going with that cheese, Danny.
Oh, no, they do not play. The
What?
Dodgers do not play. They play on Monday.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Tony's right.
What? What did Tony say?
He said you're likely going to get your ass kicked wearing that jersey.
Well,
I mean, I've worn Patriots gear there. I mean, they just scream at you.
yeah, fair enough. All right, let's get into our second. Shout out to you, Danny, by the way, for the $5 super chat. Every super chat matters. We're going to get into our next cut. We're talking about a tight end that everybody knows very, very well. And here's the thing. At first, I didn't know if I wanted to make this video. And then I started reading the article. I start going piece by piece, and I'm like, hell, it would make a really, really good segment. So we're going to do it anyway. We're going to talk about if the Denver Broncos should trade for Kyle Pitts of the Atlanta Falcons. And I've got some thoughts about this, and I'm not entirely sure that I want Kyle Pitts on this team. But I would be neglecting my job as the Broncos host, which is also news, which is also rumors to talk about here on the channel. So we're going to get into if the Broncos should trade for tight end Kyle Pitts. More tight end trade rumors for you Broncos country. And I get it. It's probably something that you're tired of hearing. But trust me when I say this, this is not coming from the Moose's mouth. This is coming from Broncos Mile High Sports Illustrated as a trade target. Welcome in Broncos country to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and on today's episode, you know what I'm doing. Kyle Pitts, should he be coming to Mile High as a tight end trade candidate? Well, Sports Illustrated came out and they basically listed out all the great things about Kyle Pitts and why the Broncos should absolutely trade for him. And I'm here to say time out. Time out. As much as the hype around Kyle Pitts is sky high around NFL media circles, I'm going to tell you why on this episode, why Kyle Pitts does and does not make sense for the Denver Broncos this season or heading into next season. There's some financial reasons, there's some stylistic play reasons, and of course, there are some production reasons. Now, before I get into that, I think the better question is not should the Broncos trade for Kyle Pitts, but should the Broncos trade for a tight end? It's still been an area of contention for the Denver Broncos. Why can't we find productivity at the tight end position? I don't know. But you let me know what you think in the comments section down below or in the live chat in our live show. All right, here's what Broncos Sports Illustrated had to say. Matt, I don't even want to pronounce that, Verderam and Gilberto Manzano proposed the Broncos acquire tight end Kyle Pitts from the Atlanta Falcons in exchange for a fourth-round draft pick, landing a major upgrade, as they call it, at the position. This would be the biggest move the Broncos could make. Early on, it's been a struggle for Bo Nix in his second season, who has thrown 7 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on just 5.6 yards per attempt. So, if we look at Kyle Pitts' numbers, they aren't eye-popping. Are they better than Evan Ingram's numbers? Yes. Yes, they are. But Kyle Pitts is one of those players that has not lived up to his draft stock hype. And I'm going to make sure that you know why it would make sense for the Broncos to trade for Kyle Pitts. I know I was just kind of harping on him, not for reaching that hype, but when it comes to filling a spot and a need for stability at the tight end position, Kyle Pitts is very stable at that position. So here's why it fully makes sense for the Denver Broncos to go out and try to trade for Kyle Pitts. Tight end is still a weak spot. for the Denver Broncos. We know that much to be true. We thought Evan Ingram was going to hit the ground running, and it's clearly taken a long time with the injuries that he's dealing with, the calf, the back, you name it. It's not translated onto the field. Our second reason why it makes sense is that, believe it or not, Kyle Pitts kind of fits that joker tight end mold. Somebody that is long and lengthy and speedy and can line up in the slot, can line up out wide. Doesn't necessarily need to throw a block, but can if you need to, but likes to play more as a bigger-bodied wide receiver. We all know what Sean Payton thinks about those guys. And then, of course, the final reason, and this probably makes the most sense, the Falcons won't do contract talk with him right now. They refuse to negotiate with Kyle Pitts' agent, so much so that Kyle Pitts actually went to the mic and said, yeah, I'm not really worried about it right now because I haven't heard anything from the Falcons front office. Here's another thing that you need to know. And this is important in deciding if you're going to trade for a player like Kyle Pitts. If the Falcons end up franchise tagging Kyle Pitts, they have to pay him $16 million next season in 2026. That is a massive amount of money for a tight end. And not just a tight end that has kind of fallen short of what everybody predicted him to be. By the way, that's fifth in the NFL in highest paid per year, $16 million. So, where does it make sense from a head-to-head perspective against Evan Ingram? Because I told you, we're talking about why it makes sense for the Denver Broncos. Well, if you look at the numbers, we're not going to go to the numbers, Mr. Producer Alper?
No, sir.
That's okay.
Incorrect.
Oh, they are. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. So here's what we do. No, that looks correct.
205 receptions.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Quick little timeout here. All right, I see what you're doing. You can. That's kind of important though. So if we can just make this real. Sorry, everybody. Real quick, little TV timeout here. It's how the sausage is made. Yes. Sorry about this, folks. We'll jump right back into it. I know. Just go to... Yeah. You could just flip those around. He's got 20 receptions, 205 yards. Yep. And one touchdown. Yeah. Okay. Well, now that you mention it, I'm gonna look it up. 1 second, everybody. Apologies. Technical difficulties here. Yes. All those are correct. All right, we're good. That's fine. All right, we're going to get back started up again here. Remember, we are talking about the comparisons between Evan Ingram and why Kyle Pitts would make more sense to bring on right now if you were to trade for him. Well, the numbers don't lie. Kyle Pitts has been clearly better than Evan Ingram this year. He beats him in almost every statistical category. Games played, yes, he's got more. Targets, yes, he's got more. Receptions, of course, duh. And then obviously more than triples the amount of yards that Evan Ingram has. Plus he's found the end zone where Evan Ingram has not. I'm not going to lie to you. The numbers for Kyle Pitts don't wow me enough to get rid of Evan Ingram. But I will say this. Pitts has a longer future than Evan Ingram as well. Kyle Pitts is 24 years old. Evan Ingram is 29. So we're talking about a guy who is kind of on the decline going out of his prime, whereas someone is just ascending into his prime. And here's another reason why I think the Atlanta Falcons clearly have not gotten the most out of Kyle Pitts. They don't use Kyle Pitts like a traditional tight end. Whereas I believe the Denver Broncos could absolutely do that. Did you know the Falcons rank 31st in the NFL in play action usage at 9.5%? If you've been watching football for longer than, we'll call it 3 years, you would know that a tight end is so unbelievably important in the play action game. It is also unbelievably important for those two, your quarterback and your tight end, to be in sync during the play action game. Well, if you're not even running the play action, how on earth is a young quarterback like Michael Penix Jr. supposed to get in consistency and, in a rapport with his tight end? It just doesn't make sense. But that's where Sean Payton comes in, because he's a whole lot better at calling plays than Zach Robinson is in Atlanta. The Broncos rank 6th in the NFL in play action usage at 17.8%. And we know that Bo Nix would love to target a tight end. And the great thing is, he kind of plays a little bit like Evan Ingram. We're going to touch on that here in just a little bit. So it's not like you'd be getting a completely different player stylistically than Evan Ingram. In fact, I believe that Kyle Pitts and Evan Ingram are almost the exact same player, but Kyle Pitts can actually do just a little bit more. So if you had to pick a tight end, pick one. Evan Ingram or Kyle Pitts. For Evan Ingram, type EE. For Kyle Pitts, type KP. Right now, I'm still typing my EEs because, like I told you, I don't necessarily know that there is a reason to go out and trade for Kyle Pitts. But you let me know in the comment section down below. So why not Kyle Pitts? What are the reasons that I don't believe the Broncos should go out and trade for Kyle Pitts? Well, I kind of talked a little bit about why I believe they shouldn't. But I've got 3 big reasons why I'm not sold on Kyle Pitts. Here's number 1, and probably the biggest one. He's not a complement to Evan Ingram. As I told you, they play very similar styles of football. They're both long. They're both lengthy. They both like to line up in the slot. They're both not great at blocking. They are both almost the exact same player stylistically when it comes to what they do well, which is run routes, go fluid, and just kind of roam around the field and find open space. Here's another reason that I don't want Kyle Pitts. He won't live up to the hype. He hasn't lived up to the hype. His rookie season was by far his best, and it's been a steady decline ever since. In fact, the only year that he's climbed over 1,000 yards was his rookie season in 2021, 2022, 23, and 2024. Pop, 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 down, 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 down. So what makes me think that Sean Payton's finally going to unlock Kyle Pitts? Even if he does sort of unlock him, you're only looking at about 1,000 yards regardless. And then here's another big reason. Kyle Pitts is going to want a new contract. Guaranteed. That's the biggest point of contention between Kyle Pitts, his agents, and the Atlanta Falcons right now. Kyle Pitts wants guaranteed generational money that'll set him and his family up for future years to come. And I don't believe that the Denver Broncos would want to give him a contract extension. If anything, they would franchise tag him. And why would you want to franchise tag a player that has not hit over 1,000 yards in 3 years? Back-to-back years of fully healthy seasons in 2024 and 2023. 667 yards, 602 yards. He doesn't find the end zone. He's not doing a whole lot in terms of receptions per game. It's kind of mid. It's kind of mid. And I've already given you a player that I think the Broncos should trade for. If the Broncos are going to trade for a tight end, give me someone powerful, someone traditional, someone that's not afraid to put their hand on the ground, go over the middle of the field, body off of some middle linebackers, catch the ball in contention, and just be that dominating presence over the middle of the field. A.K.A. David Njoku, who, by the way, is already the 6th highest paid player. So if you were going to franchise tag Kyle Pitts, you'd make him the 5th highest. He'd be paid higher than David Njoku, and he's not nearly as good. You see what I'm saying? So as much as Broncos Sports Illustrated thinks that they're making something happen with this kind of article that they pushed out, 1, I think it's for the clicks. 2, I think they're going off of name brand. Kyle Pitts was the 4th overall pick in the 2021 draft. right? We're talking about a guy that had all of the pre-draft measurements. He's got the speed. He's got the power, the agility, the size. What has it done? And now you've had Kirk Cousins over there in Atlanta. You have Michael Penix Jr. now in Atlanta. Two players that stand in the pocket and deliver the ball like a point guard. And Kyle Pitts still hasn't been able to do anything with it. It's just not worth the squeeze. The juice in this case being Kyle Pitts, not worth trading for. And I know that their offer was a 4th-round pick for Kyle Pitts. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't want to give that up. So I'm not going to. I'm going to type my N for no. So if you want the Broncos to trade for Kyle Pitts, you just let me know in the comment section down below. Truth be told, I don't think it's worth it. I think the Broncos could go out and draft a tight end next year. I still believe in Evan Ingram's ability to turn this season around, albeit the first 4 games not been that great. But all things considered, the Broncos are still 2-2. They have a game against the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm assuming they're going to try to get Evan Ingram involved as early and as often as they can. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button, like today's video, and as always, be cool. All right. We're going to have to, yeah, that's fine. Sorry about that, folks. Devontae says draft Eli Stowers from Vandy. It's like he was looking into the show a little bit later. We've got a little draft talk for the Denver Broncos coming up.
But we do need your questions. We have no questions.
We have no questions? 0?
We have 1.
Wow. I need more people to get their hashtag Broncos in there or super chat. By the way, $20 if you want to get your name on the sticker on the helmet. Take a look at all the stickers we've got so far. We've got to fill this bad boy up minus the logo. $20 gets your name on the sticker and into the raffle to win that helmet.
We got 1 question from Danny, and that's it.
Oh, we got to get more on there. Come on. Hashtag Broncos. I'm going to start calling people out. Scott, need a question from you. Craig, need a question from you. Quentin, need a question from you. Tony, question from you. Rodney, question from you. David, question from you. Hashtag Broncos, please. Wow. I cannot believe. Got to use hashtag Broncos, Tony.
Hold on. I got you.
No trade. I don't want to trade for Kyle Pitts. I really don't. I think Kyle Pitts is the definition of mid. If you got Kyle Pitts with Bo Nix, you'd be looking at almost the exact same thing that you're going to be getting from him now in Atlanta, which would be 45 receptions, 500 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Tony, you got to use hashtag Broncos and
then
type
question.
your question. There you go, Boss Man Jay. Wrong one.
Need more questions, guys, if we want to get to our mailbag. There we go. God, that's a great question, Rodney. Rodney coming in. There we go, Tony. Now we're getting it. Chase coming in. Yes, thank you, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. All right. Remember, $20 to get on the helmet if you want to get in the raffle to win that bad boy. All right. We got our third segment coming up here first before we get into our mailbag.
But there you go. Use hashtag Broncos or Super Chat.
Super Chat. Sweet. All righty.
Had a little weigh-in for you.
Let's do a little preview and some injury reports for the Denver Broncos against the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to talk a little bit about what the Eagles do well. We're going to talk a little bit about why I believe the Broncos are going to be missing out on one very key player that is very important, in my opinion, to the Broncos' offensive success. How do you stop the tush push? You don't. That's interesting. We're going to talk about that as well. All right, let's get into it. We're going to talk a little bit about some injury news, some preview stuff for the Broncos versus the Philadelphia Eagles coming up on Sunday. It is the most important game of the 2025 season for the Denver Broncos so far. Week 5 matchup, Philadelphia Eagles at home hosting the Denver Broncos. Welcome in Broncos country to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. In today's episode, I'm going to preview some injury news for the Denver Broncos, what the Philadelphia Eagles do well, and the 2 players that you must look out for if you have any chance of winning this football game on Sunday. Let's start with the injury news. I know it's always kind of frightening to see Nick Bonito's name on this, especially it's like, oh my God, he's on the injury report. But relax, full participant. He's going to be good to go. Same with Singleton. Jonah Ellis has a little bit of a rib injury right now, but I think he's going to be fine. Same with Marvin Mims. I know he's got that little hip/ankle thing, but truth is, I think they're just limiting him so that he can be ready to go on Sunday. There's one player on this list that I don't believe is going to play, and that's Nate Adkins. And we're going to talk about Nate Adkins here in just a little bit and why I believe he's one of the most underrated players on this Denver Broncos offense and why he's so important to the Broncos offensive scheme. Before we do that, if you want the Denver Broncos to win, don't be a fool. Don't jinx it. Hit that thumbs up icon. I want to see as many likes on today's episode as possible in order for the Denver Broncos to get a victory. Because if they go out and they win, you can guarantee it was because you hit that thumbs up icon. I say tongue in cheek, but at the same time, don't be the one that jinxes it. Let's talk about Nate Adkins and why he's such an important piece to the Broncos offensive strategy. Nate Adkins is one of those players that can do so much as that dual tight end set. Somebody that can block not only as a tight end, but he can line up in the fullback position as well. Someone that can line up right next to Bo Nix in the shotgun. Someone that can line up in the I formation. I realize Adam Prentice has been activated, but if you want to switch things up, Nate Adkins is one of those players that can absolutely do it. And I think he's another big reason in the last 2 weeks why J.K. Dobbins is finding so much success on the ground. Dobbins has the 4th most rushing yards in the entire NFL with 323. That's 5.7 yards per carry. Now, I'm not saying that it's only Nate Adkins that's causing that success. Shout out to the entirety of the Broncos offensive line. And Dobbins is also a hell of a player. But when you can line up with multiple tight end sets and a bunch of different schemes then open up, not only in the passing game, but in the run game as well, Nate Adkins is one of the players that you cannot afford to miss for a specific amount of time. Same with Kroll, same with Adam Troutman. The tight ends are so much more important than just being able to catch the football. And also, by the way, I looked at his PFF grades. Adkins' blocking has been sensational. Maybe not so much in the run blocking game, but in the pass blocking, he gives Bo Nix so much more time. In fact, I looked at the numbers specifically. Here they are. Run blocking, 57.8. Pass blocking, 75.8. I mean, what else do you need to see? This dude can absolutely block his ass off. So, if you're going up against a very, very stout Philadelphia Eagles defensive line, which is known for rushing a 4-man front, they like to send 4 and then drop 7 back in coverage. It's what Vic Fangio has been doing all season long, dating back to last year when they won the Super Bowl. It's how they beat Patrick Mahomes. You need to keep a 2 tight end set all game. Whether that be Evan Ingram and Adam Troutman, or Adam Troutman and Lucas Kroll, or Lucas Kroll and Evan Ingram, doesn't matter. If Nate Adkins is not going to be out on the field, you need to be running 2 tight end sets all game long, which gives Bo time to pick apart this Philadelphia Eagles defense. And here's the 5-man front. I know they rush 4, but Jalix Hunt is one of those players that is now just coming onto the scene, and they're going to use him on some specific blitz packages. But realistically, you're looking at Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Moro Ajomo. Those are the four that you have to look out for. So, if you're going to be rushing for, and they've had success rushing for, what do you have to do? Utilize the check down. If that four-man front is going to get after you quick, and that Broncos offensive line can't hold up, I do think it will, but in the event that it doesn't, utilize the check down. Bo Nix is so unbelievably good at throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage and to his running backs. And speaking of which, the Philadelphia Eagles, by the way, are awful at covering the running back in the passing game. The Eagles give up 7.9 yards per throw to opposing running backs. That's 27th in the NFL. That's really bad. So obviously, when they drop back 7 in coverage, they're making sure that the back end of the field, so that you can't beat them over the top, is their main priority, which leaves that little center of the field, highlighted by their great linebacker play, pretty much wide open. And Bo Nix, like I said, is excellent at throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage. This was just last game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Look at all the green. This is the one time where I don't think you need to stretch the ball down the field. You can dink and dunk your way down the field to score. Philadelphia has a tough time covering it, so take advantage of it. This is where game managing becomes so important for the Denver Broncos. So what do you have to do? You get R.J. Harvey involved. You get Marvin Mims involved in the screen game. Troy Franklin, utilize him in the motion game. There are so many different ways that you can do this. And hell, maybe even J.K. Dobbins a little bit. If the run game is going and you're dinking and dunking your way down the field, I absolutely believe that you can put points up on this Philadelphia Eagles defense. Coming up, speaking of defense, it's time to shore up the run defense. How the Denver Broncos can put the pressure on the Philadelphia Eagles offense, highlighted by two players, Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. Before I do that, I'm going to tell you about our friends over at Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day. But on Prize Picks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks, where it is good to be right. Did you know that Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks? Meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the exact same lineup. Want to pick more on like Josh Allen's passing yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns? You can do that all in the same lineup now on Prize Picks, and follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app. Copy their lineups in just one click, whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone who likes the picks that you picked, like my picks. Dansby Swanson, more than half a hit. Dak Prescott, more passing yards against the New York Jets, who suck. And then, of course, Jalen Hurts, less on the passing yards against the Denver Broncos. Yours can look like this. Doesn't have to. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. So the players that you must watch out for. These two bad boys right here. Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. The dynamic duo of rushing attack. I'm not going to lie to you. Jalen Hurts as a pure passing quarterback might be one of the worst in the league. But when it comes to his dual threat ability, one of the best. Saquon Barkley, I don't think I really need to explain to you how good that man is. Last year was any indication, he was sensational. So let's talk about Saquon Barkley first, shall we? I think Saquon Barkley's 2025 stats kind of speak for themselves. He's been really good. 77 carries, 237 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3.1 yards per carry. The average might not be nearly as good as you're looking at, but I do know that the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line has been struggling lately to stop defensive lines, which is really good news for the Denver Broncos. But Saquon Barkley is still very strong, very capable, and able to find the end zone, leading this team to being 4-0. I also want to highlight Jalen Hurts, because if you look at the numbers through 4 weeks, although he has not thrown an interception yet, and he might be completing damn near 70%, he's only got 609 passing yards in 4 weeks. That's terrible. That's awful. They don't throw the football. So if you play the run and you force Jalen Hurts to throw, you might have a really good shot of winning this game. However, I do want to point out one thing, and you've probably already thought to yourself, why has Moose not mentioned the formation? The formation. Yeah, the tush push is coming. And Sean Payton had glowing things to say about it, by the way. He's in favor of the tush push. Jalen Hurts can squat 600 pounds. So getting down to about 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2, not smart for the Denver Broncos to do. You cannot let the Eagles get to 3rd and short. Otherwise, you're screwed. Because it's basically a cheat code. You line up everybody, you push them forward. It's a guaranteed 1 to 1.5 yards every single time. I also think it's important to note that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to try and run pace on you in this football game. The Eagles run no huddle, 18.7% of snaps on offense. That is 3rd in the NFL. Meaning what? If their offensive line can't block, the best thing that they can do is make sure that they keep the defense on their heels. Run fast-paced, tempo offense. But do not get it twisted whatsoever. The Eagles have one way that they completely beat every team. Just one. It's one thing that they do better than anybody I've ever seen. They completely wear you down. So what do you have to do to beat that? Be great on early downs. Don't give them 5 yards on 1st and 10. Don't give them 4 yards on 2nd and 8 or 2nd and 7. You've got to stifle them on 1st and 2nd down and force them to throw the football. If you do that, you can walk away with the W against the best team in the NFL right now, according to the ESPN Power Rankings. And if you want to win, I'm going to go back to the question I asked you earlier. Smash that thumbs up icon. Don't be the one that jinxes it. Hit the thumbs up icon. Help the Broncos get a W this Sunday. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to subscribe to the channel. Like today's video if you haven't already. And as always, Broncos country, be cool. Woo! One more seg. One more seg. I know.
We got a lot of questions now.
Got tons of questions.
You guys have been answering all the questions.
All those questions.
Let's see how many we got now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But if you want to keep getting your questions in, because you can always asking all them questions. Asking all them questions.
Using statements.
Assuming?
Asking all them questions.
I bet you, I would give you $100.
Yep. If what?
If you ask JOD if he knows that video.
I guarantee you he doesn't.
I will give you $100 if he does.
I like $100. I might ask him.
I like money.
Hello, I like money. Little SpongeBob there for you. All right, let's get into it. We're already at an hour. I don't want this to take any longer than we absolutely need to. So let's get our questions in. By the way, $20. If you want your sticker on the helmet to get into the helmet raffle, once it's filled, we auction it off.
Hey.
All right, so you ready to rock and roll? Okay. Let's get into our Broncos mailbag. Broncos country, welcome into our Broncos mailbag that airs on our live show every single Thursday from 4 p.m. Central Time or 3 p.m. Mountain Time, where we answer your most pressing Denver Broncos questions. We're going to do something a little bit differently to start today's show. Usually we go right into the questions, but right now I'm going to ask you to do something very important for me. Do you love the Broncos? If you do, I need you to smash that hype button. The hype button is that little tiny star button to the very, very right of the comment section. I need you to hit that star button. Help us get to 50 50,000 hype points on today's episode. What this is going to do is push that video out for the YouTube algorithm and find more Broncos fans to fall in love with our channel and join the Broncos Breakdown family. Did I say 50? I meant 70,000 hype points. I'm even going one step further. So hit that little star button, help us get 70,000 hype points on today's video. Let's start off with a bang! John Emery, $100 super chat. Talking about this matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. 3 points is home field advantage. 28-14 Denver. Eagles only had less than 100 yards on the ground last week. Look, I like the way you think. I think the Eagles are not nearly as good as they were last year. That doesn't mean they're not a good football team. I truly believe, though, that this is a gettable team. A team that you can absolutely put points on the board against. And if you can stifle them on early downs and not let them get to third and 1, or 3rd and 2, where they can utilize their tush push, you can beat this football team. Thank you, John, for your absolutely awesome contribution to the show. Let's move on to Danny. I'm flying to Philly for a guy's weekend. Do I wear my Knicks jersey to the game? When do you take it off is the better question. You should rock Bo all night, all day, at the bars, at the Philly cheesesteak restaurants. Wherever there are Philly fans, you should be rocking your Bo Knicks jersey all day, every day. And guess what? Twice on Sunday when they play the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to you, Danny. Thanks for the $5 super. Let's go to Chase. If we win this game, will we be looked at as a Super Bowl contender? Duh. Yes, of course you will. Anytime you beat a team that is as high caliber as the Philadelphia Eagles, everybody is naturally going to be like, whoa, where did the Broncos come from? We've been talking about this all off season, though. When the Broncos can put together a solid 60 minutes of football from the start of the game to the very end of the game, this team is so damn good. This roster is talented with the additions we've made in the run game and J.K. Dobbins, who's been outstanding. R.J. Harvey as the now Joker mold. And then, of course, Bo Nix getting better every single week that he's playing. This team can absolutely go to the Super Bowl if they beat a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. Rodney. Do you see A.J. Brown being set as a decoy to distract us for a big game on Devontae Smith? It's an interesting take. Here's how I'll answer this for you. First things first. Devontae Smith is not nearly as talented as not Rodney. Take two. He's not nearly as talented as A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith brings his own set of challenges to guard because he is a former Heisman winner and a player that can absolutely tear you up if you leave him open. But I absolutely think what's going to end up happening is that Jalen Hurts, when he does throw the ball, is going to target Devontae Smith because most likely you're going to see Riley Moss on Devontae Smith. And Riley Moss has been targeted frequently. He started off the game slow against the Cincinnati Bengals. It definitely got better as the game went on. So, no, I don't see him being a decoy because I don't think that Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown are on the same page. I think they're just going to try to target Devontae Smith. So I hope that answers your question. Jack with the $20 super. Sorry I'm late. Do you think we should trade for a slot wide receiver? If so, which one? And who do we give up? Yeah, Pop Douglas is a name that we could explore. A slot wide receiver. You know, I would have told you a guy like, how about this? I'll do you one better. Let's not go slot. Let's go with a hybrid. DJ Moore. If you were to go out and call the Chicago Bears and get DJ Moore, he's a player that does line up in the slot, but also lines up wide. You could move Troy Franklin in and Marvin Mims in. If you had DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, and a combo of those two inside the slot, holy frickin' Moses, that would go ballistic. DJ Moore is a stud. I just don't know that Ben Johnson knows the right way to use him. They've been trying to use him as kind of like a hybrid of Deebo Samuel. When it comes to an absolute beast in yards after the catch, DJ Moore is by far one of the players that you must consider. So I'll take DJ Moore to answer your question. And who do we give up? I'd trade Trent Sherfield, a blocking tight end, someone that the Bears could use because they suck at blocking, and maybe a 5th-round pick, Trent Sherfield and a 5th-round pick for DJ Moore. I don't think anybody would say no to that. Maybe a 4th. Maybe you could send that 4th. That'd be fine. I think the Bears would take that as well. Hopefully that answers your question, Jack. Boss man, how would you feel about Pat Bryant putting on 25 pounds during the offseason and moving to tight end? He's already an incredible blocker, so I know where you're going with that. I don't think that's his game, though. He's like Michael Thomas. Give this kid more time to develop as a wide receiver. I think you'll find that he's going to be a very, very good player for the Denver Broncos. Thanks, boss man, though. You are a fan favorite of the show. Always got to get your question up on screen. Mike Oxlong. I'm a big fan of Mike. Who is an early Denver Broncos draft target? Ooh, I'm thinking center or tight end. Interesting. Let's talk about it. All right. I'm going to start with the tight end. I don't know of many centers right now that I would have to do my homework a little bit more, but I do know one specific tight end that is moving mountains in college football right now. Pay attention because you're going to like this kid. His name is Eli Stowers, and he is the tight end for Vanderbilt right now. He is projected to be a 2nd-round pick in the 2026 NFL draft. But make no mistake, when this kid touches the field, he can do everything. Everything. There is not one area that he can't perform in. He is a big, big boy. 6'4", 235 pounds. Career high of 638 yards in 2025. Mind you, he's playing for Vanderbilt. Who's their quarterback? I have no freaking idea. But he is a do-it-all tight end with massive, massive hype. I have been following this kid for the last, we'll call it half a year. And this year, he's already showing up and showing out. He is a stud. 5 games played, 22 receptions, 301 yards, averaging 13.7 yards per reception, so he can stretch the field. And his blocking grade is also very good, 69.0. Giggity. Here's why he's so impressive, though. It's not just the intangibles, the tangibles, like his height, like his size, like his ability to stretch the field. He's a former quarterback, played quarterback in high school. His route intelligence is off the charts. His route tree is deep. His understanding of spatial awareness on the football field is unmatched for anybody in college football at his position right now. I want this kid on the Denver Broncos. Not only that, I would be willing to draft this kid in the 1st round. That's how interested I am in drafting Eli Stowers. So, I'll ask you real quick. Are you ready to draft? Are you ready to bring Stowers in to Mile High? Type D for draft, type P for pass. If you're in the live chat right now, I want to see what you believe down in the live section down below. Or if you're watching during our regularly scheduled programming, make sure you get down in the comment section. Rodney, we're going to answer a couple more and then we'll get on out of here. How do we stop the tush push? You don't. It's almost impossible to guard. The key to stopping the tush push is to not let them get in that formation. How do you do that? You have early success on early downs. So when it's 1st and 10, don't let them run for 6 yards. Don't let them run for 7 yards. Stifle them to 1 yard or 2 yard. Make Jalen Hurts throw the football. He's not great from the pocket. He's not a pure passer of the football. If you can make Jalen Hurts beat you through the air, my friends, that is the best way to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And if he does by chance torch you over the air, then more power to you. But I do not want to see his legs. I do not want to see Saquon Barkley. And I don't want to see that damn tush push beat us on Sunday. Tony, what would David Njoku cost us? A 4th-round pick. I made a video earlier on in the week talking about a trade for Kyle Pitts. Truth be told, I don't want Kyle Pitts. I'd rather have David Njoku. He's strong. He's gifted. he is a big-bodied player that plays traditional tight end but can body off middle linebackers over the middle of the field. He's got great hands and, truthfully, probably the most underrated tight end in the NFL. That's what it would cost, a 4th rounder. And by the way, you have an extra because you traded Devon Vele to the Saints. Last question, then we'll get on out of here. Do you believe that we will beat the Eagles this week? Also, we'll both throw 2 touchdowns or more. I'm predicting the Philadelphia Eagles lose to the Denver Broncos 24-21. I'll do you one better. Bo Nix goes out, throws for 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks, and has a passer rating of over 100 on the day. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that hype button if you haven't already. And as always, be cool. Whoo! Guys, I want Eli Stowers so bad. So bad. Kenyon Sadiq is also a player that they could target. He's very, very good as well. But I think Stowers has such high upside. And he plays for a team that does not have stereotypical good quarterback play. All right. What do you guys think? Do you like today's episode or do you like today's live show? Let me know. Pop says, thank you, Moose. Great video. Thank you, Pops, for being a big fan. I appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate you. How much cap will we have next year? That is a great question. Let me check right now. I'll check over the cap and tell you what the cap space looks like for the Broncos in 2026. There we go. Here's the cap space right now as it projects. Because who asked that question? Rodney did. Rodney. Ooh. Producer Alper, take a listen to this.
Yes.
Projected cap space right now on Over the Cap has the Broncos at $50 million in available cap space, which leads at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th in the NFL. Guess who the number 1 team is expected to have the most cap in 2026?
Who is it?
The Tennessee Titans.
Ooh.
$112 million.
Well, who are they going to spend it on? Who's going to want to go there?
Nobody. Unless they get a new coach.
They are.
Mike McCarthy.
Maybe.
The Chargers also are going to be super high in cap space. They're going to be at 112 also.
We're not at a lot of
God,
cap
the
space.
Chargers and the Raiders are both going to have over 110 or over $100 million in available cap.
Patriots had over 100 million. Look how much cap space the Patriots have in 2026.
Guess who's going to have the least amount? Oh, you're going to love this. You're going to love this, Rodney. Guess who's got the least amount of cap space? Negative $41 million. The Kansas City Chiefs.
The Patriots are very, very not great at cap for next year.
It's going to be an interesting year. I'm so excited. All right, that's going to do it for us on today's episode. Quick reminder, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, my friends, make sure you hit that sub button. We're going to take off, but hopefully, we see you on Sunday for our watch party against the Philadelphia Eagles. I am very excited to kick off the month of October with Broncos country. We had a great September. Let's keep the vibes going. Let's keep the energy high. As always, Broncos country, mile high salute. Let's go, Broncos.